Hello, it's Xavier down the bottom of the garden, and guess what? I've got a friend. It's a bonsai friend. Is that an in-betweeners thing, that is, I think?
Yeah,
I'm going to jump on my car.
I like that, yeah.
It's Alex. Say hello, Alex, and
hello.
I'm going to poke my head out. He's got an oak, and I like oaks.
Cool, so, yeah, I thought I'd bring this oak in today. I need some help from Xavier's point of view. I've actually only had this about 6 months. I picked this up earlier this year. It was from the Doncaster car boot sale for the grand price of £35.
No.
Yes, so I was very pleased. But I've got no idea on the age of it. It's got some nice craggy bark. Not much movement though. The movement happens more at the top. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm kind of at a loss as what I want to do with this at the moment. I've just let it grow. All these like suckers have come out. There's a lot of growth up here, and I've had a lot of these, what are they called, oak galls? These little balls growing, and I wasn't sure whether or not that was a good thing, but I've left them anyway. So yeah, it needs some work. I've just fed it, watered it, and yeah, we're going to do something with it.
It's nice. I'm more impressed with the price, to be honest. I was going to try and palm you off on a mine for 70 quid, which is about a third of the size. That's it.
The root base is okay. There's a few sort of large ones coming out, 1, 2, yeah, 3 around the back.
Okay, how do you think you're going to develop that?
To be honest, the apex is not very nice. There's big scarring. They've obviously just chopped it down and kind of left it to heal for a few years. There's some big thick branches, so I think I'd like to kind of strip it back a bit, maybe go for a broom style, so get rid of all these suckers down here, really show off the base and the root flare. Yeah,
definitely take the suckers off. Yeah. I agree with you there. It's one of those things where you're in the early stage, like you've got it's very, very straight going up, isn't it?
I did wonder if maybe keep some of these and try and grow off some branches, you know, to kind of create the illusion of taper, or maybe some kind of thread grafting, I don't know.
But I would remove all of those, potentially, and concentrate on that one.
Yeah.
That one, really, see at the moment, while the energy's going to those, and this is on my, I mean, Yelly, we may well say something different, and Tony will probably say something different, but I think energy's going into those. It's just this arm from nowhere, look at that, I can make
magic.
Oh, there we go. But yeah, I'd be growing that one out. And if you looked at the big 4-foot one I've got, I literally had one branch there that I let grow. If you look on the inside, that one in the middle of the bend there, probably this one I would remove. And then I would be looking at that one growing, because that's almost on a bend there. Yeah. Getting rid of that.
The next one up, okay.
And then trying to just see basically what I'd be looking at doing. Because from my point of view, is to just literally have 3-4 key branches that I'd want to be growing, and then right up here I would probably be putting it right back, cutting it right back, so that all the energy is going lower down. And what you'll find, if it's anything like my last one, it takes a year for the tree to accept that it's not allowed to grow that.
Okay, so there may be some sulking then.
Oh, it'll sulk. But yeah, I haven't seen those. I haven't had those on mine, to be honest.
I think it's some kind of, I don't know if it's a wasp or some kind of fly or something. Apparently it's not harmful. So we've just had a great little chat off camera, and first things first, we're going to get rid of all these suckers, like really show off the trunk, remove those, we don't need those anymore, and then we're going to start looking at growing this one as the first main branch.
Yeah, what was your original option we could do at just above that point?
I did suggest maybe we just take this whole top third off, just chop it here, get your chainsaw, or even, you know, burn it off, whatever works the best, and then this would become the leader. So that is an option, and then option 2, if possible, try and air layer this top part off and have a nice kind of show-hin sized oak. Yeah, I don't know, I've never air layered an oak, and I might just get a bit anxious and just chop off the whole thing. I don't know if I've got the patience, we'd have to wait and see. But yeah, so so this will be first, wouldn't it? And then I think, did we come round?
Right, so that one's going to grow out to about 3 foot.
Yeah. So there's a few nice choices we've got for like secondary, the tertiary branches as well, I guess.
Are we really going to be looking at tertiary right now? What do we want to build?
Not yet. We've only got the
we've got the trunk.
I think there's there's maybe we're on to second here. We've got bifurcation at the top. Look, there's one, I think.
Yeah. The only movement we've got is us going off to the pub later. No. So we're going to clear it all up, get rid of the obvious stuff that's growing downwards, so that you can actually see what's at the top there, and then anything that's on inside bends, and hopefully you're going to be left with about 4 or 5 branches below that crown.
Yeah, I think that would look good.
And he's bought his own tools because he knows mine are shoddy and blunt.
Not at all. Not at all. I brought them in this very handy plastic tray. There we go. Like 3 tools in it. That'll do the job.
But my tray,
look at that.
Look at that. That's rounded.
You've got
rounded. It's got movement.
Yours is bigger than. Yeah, there you go.
Don't go down that one. You all know there's going to be a little mud man who's going to say something if you say that. Right.
So that's it. Yeah. So like I say, we'll start here. We'll clear these off, and then we'll select the branches, and eventually decide what we're going to do with this top part of the tree. There's quite a few dead parts. I don't know, do they die back much? Do you get much kind of wiggle room? Do you need to, like a maple, you need to give it some space, don't you?
I find them pretty sturdy and hardy, and I don't think they really die back too well. Mine haven't died back. I think your biggest problem with oaks is when you collect, and it's deciding to go, so just clear all underneath that until you're basically left with the 2 or 3 main branches that are actually at that crown.
Yeah.
So you can see what you've got beneath. Continue to clean that out.
There we go. There we go. That looks nice. So it's quite getting the skeleton of it now, aren't we?
Yeah. But if you did that wire bend there, that could potentially. And the thing about it is they backbud so much, but I think that's definitely that. So right. So having a look at other little bits. So you've got that to keep.
Yeah. Do we want get rid of that and keep this one, or do you think?
Well, that one, that big one you're keeping, because there's a couple of branches you want these lower 2 to be growing out. So I'd probably be cutting that one right back to 2 or 3 side branches, because you don't want the energy going there.
So maybe back to about here, do you think?
No, probably a bit further back.
Okay.
Somewhere, yeah. If you have a look, if you've got 2 or 3 branches or little side branches, 1, 2, 3.
Right, yeah. So maybe about here, do you think? Leave it a bit of dieback.
Okay, so that's good.
Okay, yeah, that's looking much nicer. And then the back, I think.
Right, so we've got some more cleaning. All right, so some cleaning up to do here. Definitely.
Let's get rid of these.
You have a look down on there.
There's a few dead.
You want to be reducing that group to 1, basically, or none.
Yeah, so we've got 1 now on here.
Okay.
1.
And then the only thing to be careful here is that obviously that's coming from underneath that. So it is going to be weak. But that's fine on its own, so just get rid of that stuff. So let that one grow, that grow. Okay, so you need to make a decision about that, I think. So what we've got, looking at the top, is that horrible straight there. And it's whether or not you cut that back halfway where that first branch is.
Yeah.
And then have that one as one of your branches, but either way I think you'd lose that. So
let's do that. Let's get rid of that one. Leave a bit of room for dieback. There we go.
Okay, and then get some putty on that. Or paste, yeah.
Yeah, I think that looks nice.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll do a halfway spin now, and just take that round, and then let's see if we can put a stick in where we think the front's going to be if the tree stays as it is. It's darkening, right? I think it's going to chuck on us at the moment.
It's not looking
right,
nice.
So
I think,
stop. Okay.
I think between these 2 kind of main roots forms a nice base. Makes it look much thicker than it actually is.
Are we using a technical word here? We're going to use that word that begins with N.
The Nabari.
The Nabari.
Let's get we can get the Nabari on. Yeah, I think that looks quite nice because, like you said, there's a slight movement in the trunk here, and then you see it kind of goes, it flows nicely.
And I couldn't see that before. So,
no, removing those suckers has really made a difference.
Yeah, you'd be no good as a boss trying to get rid of people, get rid of suckers, that's for sure. Okay, I like it. So I'd be marking, I'd have a little mark there, a little...
We got what have we got?
Oh no, you haven't got a Nigel stick.
Hang on, we might have to use one of the...
Oh, I know, look, there's a bit of... There we go, there's always a bit of safety wire.
Oh, perfect, there you go.
See, and you can hurt yourself on that, but whatever.
Let the kids play with it. Perfect. Yeah.
So there's potentially one of you. And then if you show us that top branch we're talking about wiring, that one, just see if it moves across.
So sort of bring that round. And
for now, it's not necessarily the final position, but I'm just seeing how that looks. Yeah, and then if you've got it grows out from now. I love the move. I'm going to take a picture of the movement of that. But so it keeps spinning, but I think I can see that movement.
Yeah.
It's weird how it happens though.
Just comes into its own, I guess, doesn't it?
Keep going.
But then maybe...
What about there?
Yeah, this side.
Now actually, if you let those branches stay where they are, that's just... I mean, what you haven't got is the roots. But I think when you do a bit of exploring down there, you might find...
Yeah.
So there is a front somewhere around there, and actually, it lends. If you come back a bit, it lends itself. It definitely lends itself. Come right back here, Alex.
Right back.
If you look here,
yeah, that's nice.
you can, and now you can start picturing if those branches go out, you can see the way the upper part of the trunk is actually bowing in. And although it's not traditional taper, I think it's strong. It's a solid masculine tree. It's got enough interest and movement that I don't think I'd be layering it.
No, it's nice.
And now you can see if you were going to go from this end, the top branch that we're going to wire, well, that would wire around. I'd be putting a bit of wire on that actually. I like that.
Yeah, let's keep going, shall we? We'll bring it round to the front again.
Another side, yeah, it's definitely a side.
Yeah, not much there, is there? And then bring it back round.
Yeah, that's still good. That's got the base, but either one works well. I think the other side works best for what you've got at the crown.
Yeah, I think as well. There's some, when you dig down here a bit, there's some lower, like Nabari, like some nice root flare. So it maybe these two higher ones will go, and I could pot it lower. It just feels like it's a bit thicker down here.
I'm always a bit more careful with oak when it comes to removing. Once you've got your, I always say once it's in,
yeah,
you do all your root work on a collected tree straight away.
Okay.
And so do we want to put a bit of wire on that top anyway?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. I don't know what to say. Have I had any more strange men joining me from the internet? Well, I've had Andrew Beatty, who came up, and he's from down south, but he...
oh, what a travel.
He was the one who actually insisted on buying a tree. And he literally had to really, really persuade me. That's good wiring technicality, and you're supporting the branch while you wind the wire. You don't need to take it too far out because you just want that initial bend.
So what were we thinking? Maybe sort of round here.
Get the other... okay, so let's have a look.
This comes forward a bit, is that right? And then up. Yeah, we'll bring it back round to the proposed front then. So spin around again.
So then you can talk about my rubbish wiring. It makes it look like a mandible.
Not at all. No. So we've done, so we've wired these two on this side, on the left, and then we've gone over and we've just wired this one. But what we were discussing was if we go round to the other potential front, they do make quite nice back branches. It's about there, do you think?
Yeah, it's about
just
there.
fills in there quite nicely. Maybe move this one a bit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit thrown now.
Well, the thing about it is that what you probably can't see from the camera is that I know there's little buds a lot further back down those branches, so I can see, although the wire's on them, I can see them cutting almost half the length, if not 2/3 of the length off. It's just the wire's giving that initial movement right at the base almost. And although we've wired out more wiggles, it's amazing. Certainly I do it with silver birch. It's amazing how much you actually end up cutting 3/4 of the wire off in that branch, and you've done all that wiring, and you only want that bottom centimetre, and you've just got a touch of movement. But there's two buds, and you quickly go, do you know, that's what I'm going back to. But
well, yeah, we're sort of just building the foundations, aren't we? I suppose on this.
and I think that I keep saying my hardest lesson is learning that if you don't get that scaffolding, as Ryan Neal will say, the scaffolding and framework set in place, then you're forever chasing your backside, and you never ever catch it. So your priority, so we leave that now. Though wire will be fine for a little while. All you want is those bottom two branches.
Yeah.
That one.
Oh, the back one. This one round. Yeah.
And you want them to just go. You don't want to do anything with it. But the only thing you might do at some point, which is what I did a year later, is you'll find you might put some wire on them because they'll be 2 foot long.
Right, okay.
And all you do is
so keep an eye on
some initial movement. And when you go up and have a look and see my big oak, I can show you exactly what I mean. But my big oak didn't look much different from that.
Okay.
That's pretty impressive. Okay.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Absolute pleasure. And I didn't break any branches either. What we say?
Oh, what do we say?
What do we say?
I'm thinking of what is it? Stay hip, be cool, and get a hobby. But that's not yours, is it?
No, I don't know who says that.
That's Carlos.
It's Alex. He's down the bottom of the garden, and that's him with his Yamadori oak, which he only paid. Did you say 35?
Yeah, 35.
Oh,
yeah.
Absolute steal. And we're going to go to Doncaster on September 25th in the van, and I'm going to buy some stuff. But I'd be really happy with that.
Yeah.
It's right at the base, and that's the hardest thing. But at least now, you look at it and you go, it looks a bit like a bonsai tree. And you can see the movement in the trunk, and you can see the guy who collected it, why he collected it.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I don't think we could.
No, it looks good. I'm really pleased with that. Thank you. Really.
And anything, you probably put a load of food in there. If you've got any pellets or anything.
Yeah, and I'm going to get rid of this.
Get rid of the Scotch moss.
Get rid of that, yeah.
But we don't see that. Okay.
Lovely.
All right.